Subject 404 is an upcoming indie horror title where you are at the whims of the panel. A very simple premise. You must listen to whatever the panel tells you to do, and only when you follow the instructions to the letter will you be allowed to proceed. But who are you? What is the panel? And what happened to the other 400 or so subjects? Upon opening Subject 404, I'm greeted with some delicious sound design, some quiet and rather disturbing breathing. Starting a new game, I see some wonderfully delightful low-poly graphics, using one of my favorite techniques I see modern low-poly games do, wrapping low-res pictures of real people around low-poly faces. Ugh, another low-poly indie horror game? Hey! Low-poly indie horror games are popular for a reason, and I'm speaking as someone who is picking away at my own low-poly indie horror game. 1, low-poly graphics are easier to make and optimized, and 2, the lack in detail in low-poly graphics lends itself well to horror because it leaves more to your imagination, and 3, I'm biased because I just love PSX-style low-poly graphics because, I don't know, I grew up on that shit. The unnerving, looping laughter, movement, and uncanny smiling faces of these nameless NPCs further set the tone for this game as I was abruptly brought to the subject facility.
Welcome to the subject facility. You are subject 400 with you. We can do great TT things if you obey the commands in the panel. If you don't.
Huh?
I'm then made to fulfill mundane tasks. Touch the red book. Touch the blue book. Move. Don't move. My original intention was to fully obey the panel, then try again and go through and disobey, just to see how differently the game played out. However, I didn't need to do that, because the game threw this at me. Ah, no! The game reveals itself. If you disobey, or don't fulfill the assigned task before the timer runs out, you get da bear. In this demo, you go through the subject facility a total of 3 times. Good old rule of threes, right? Each run through said facility is broken up by some interesting imagery and scenes, peppered lightly with some jump scares. Okay. I apologize in advance to the dev. My reactions to jump scares are very underwhelming. The gameplay progression through the demo of Subject 404 is very simple, yet, in my opinion, very effective. It starts off with a very plain, mundane mechanic of interacting or not interacting according to the panel's instructions, then gradually slips in slightly more interesting ways to interact to keep things engaging, as well as little breadcrumbs of off-putting dialogue.
It will be picked as you go.
Interesting.
Now, it is time for your conditioning.
Huh?
As is to be expected with old reliable rule of threes, the third run-through is when things get really interesting.
You have been provided with an instrument of correction.
Correction, you say? We are presented with the Chekhov's gun. I was starting to understand where this game was going narratively with the conditioning, obedience, and the, wiping of memories.
Conditioning complete.
Oh my gosh, it's just like Outlast Trials! Up until this point, failing was fairly far and few between. But the gauntlet of panel requests really became challenging once the gun was introduced. But not unfairly or annoyingly so. Oh, fucking sucker fat! Okay, maybe I did get pretty annoyed. Perhaps a skip dialogue option would have made things a bit more palatable. I did appreciate the use of RNG. If I were to have to do the same exact tasks over and over again in the same exact order every single time I failed, it would have been insufferable. But having a decent amount of minigames the game could pull from, and each minigame having different fulfillment requirements, kept everything feeling just fresh enough that I wasn't completely losing my mind. It's definitely a balancing act to get that perfect middle ground of just frustrating enough, and so far, I think this game is doing a pretty decent job at holding that delicate balance. And then, of course, Subject 404 throws its final curveball at me.
Shoot the unnecessary.
Oh, that's incredibly fucked up. Either the old or the disabled?
Lord. Remember this.
Okay! Overall, Subject 404 has me very intrigued. It already shows very competent, iterative game design that has very good potential for horror, and narratively has given me just enough information that I'm interested to see where this leads. Subject 404 is aiming for a September to October 2026 release, so check out the demo and be sure to wishlist it if it seems interesting to you. But now, dear game dev, who so very graciously emailed me to check out your game, I must provide you with a small montage of nitpicks from one game dev to another. The default look sensitivity. That mouse sensitivity, whew. Whew. That's a little sensitive there. I did reopen the game later and find there is an option to change the look sensitivity, so that's good. However, upon trying to change the look sensitivity in the game, there's no pause? No pause? Can't pause? Uh-oh. There is no pause menu. I also went back later and tried to pause at any point in the game, and you just can't. During the subject facility segments, the panel reads, "Not now," whenever you try to pause. So I understand that perhaps this was by design, and the intention was to make you feel trapped and give a sense of urgency. But if this is intentional, I implore you to reconsider, because I personally think that pause menus are essential, especially if you are streaming and need to make adjustments mid-stream. But those are my only genuine nitpicks. Here's my bonus joke one. This is the craziest nitpick of the century. That's a recycling bin. There's nothing in it, but I click it, and then there's stuff in it. Got it, finally. Woo! That was a rough one. That was a rough one. Jesus Christ! The loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my god. Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy.